Remember these guys? Probably not, because that was over 4 years ago. But I have finally gotten around to expanding my dragon army. Gotta round out this rainbow anyway. Starting off with our biggest ball, I'm rolling that into a cone shape. Then I'm pinching the base to create a general diamond shape, and press the shorter end of the diamond into the table to create a flat surface where we'll later attach the head. And let's bend this tail into shape by curving it upwards towards the back of the body. For the head, roll a ball of yellow into an oval and blend the head to the body to secure in place. Moving on to the belly, I'm flattening out a log of light yellow clay into a long oval shape. I'm trimming down the sides so it fits better on our dragon and attaching it to the body, continuing it down the front of the body towards the tail. And you can use your finger or a sculpting tool to smooth out the edges. To add some scale detail, I'm using my flathead sculpting tool to create line indents all the way down. Now the next step is to add the arms and legs, and my original design was to add the legs as 2 pieces. But ultimately, it wasn't what I was going for. Instead, I'm just rolling out a ball of yellow clay into a rough teardrop shape, and then I'm attaching the narrower end onto the body, smoothing into place, and flattening out the foot area. Now, I don't know if it's me or just this clay, but it has been picking up a ridiculous amount of lint. The arms are going to be the same as the legs, just in a slightly smaller size, and I find it easiest to press them into place at the same time. That way you can apply even pressure to attach them. And as before, I'm adding little claws to all of my dragons. Add indents for eyes, 2 for the nostril, and a line indent for the smile. Add black balls for the eyes, and now it's time to give this dragon some wings. I'm rolling out a thin sheet of light yellow clay, and I'm trying to draw my wings at the same time to make them as symmetrical as possible, but it didn't exactly work out, so I had to do some minor adjustments. For my original wings, I added the wing structure on top of the main wing, and while I like how that looked, I was curious to see how it would look if the wing structure was built into the wing instead. So this first wing design, I'm cutting out the wing structure before adding on the main wing arm. Or should I call the top the spine and then the little parts that stick out the ribs? It at least makes sense to me, so I'm going to stick with that. And I want these wings to have some movement with them, so what I'm going to do is prop it up with some balls of tinfoil so that they're baked into shape. In the original video, I also showed you 3 variations of scales that you can add to the dragon. And again, how many variations can I realistically make, But I'm trying to at least come up with some different designs. My plan was to bake these as is and cut them afterwards. And now all that's left to do is assemble. I'm using a little bit of liquid Sculpey to attach them down the dragon's back. And just so you know, this is how much I had left over. Now for the wings, I'm just using a sculpting tool to create an indent where they'll sit. Add a little bit of liquid clay, and press the wings into place. And to make sure they stay exactly where I want them, I'm propping them up with some balls of tinfoil, and once it's out of the oven, we have our cute little dragon. And moving on to our next dragon, I'm grabbing some purple clay and rolling that out into a tapered log. We want to roll a similar diamond shape as before, but this time we'll be curving both ends towards each other to create a bit of a C shape. Roll out an oval for the head, and then attach it to the neck, facing slightly towards the tail, since this dragon's going to be curled up, taking a nap. For the legs, we're going to be rolling out 4 balls into teardrop shapes and connecting the narrow end to the body. I want it to look like this dragon's just sprawled out, so I'm just going to have the feet sticking out every which way. Lightly blend everything together, and don't forget about the underside too. For the belly, I'm rolling out a sheet of dark purple, and I'm cutting out a curved C shape, then just smooth out the edges to connect it to the rest of the body before adding line indents for the scales. You may wish to skip these steps since the belly isn't really visible in this dragon, but for me skipping this would just feel wrong. Besides, you can kind of see the belly in some angles. Anyway, I'm adding on the little toes or the claws, whatever you want to call them, onto each foot. I'm also making sure the ends of the feet are flat. For the face, I'm adding 2 indents for the nostrils, a line indent for the mouth, and for the eyes, I want to make it look like the dragon sleeping. So fortunately, I have this very handy sculpting tool. If you didn't have this, you could use just any household item that you have lying around that fits the general shape. So sometimes you just have to get creative. Luckily, this isn't one of those times. Now, for the dragon's scales that go down its back, I wanted this to be one solid piece, but still look like it flowed. So I rolled out another sheet of dark purple, and I cut out a squiggle wave design. Then I'm just laying that on top of the body, following the curve of the tail. Once it was in place, I then redefined all the curves and the bumps, which also helped secure it into place. Now, for the wings, I decided that I still liked the original way that I made the wings in the first video, but I still wanted to make these wings look different. So I tried to make a more angular or squarish design, and then for the wing spine section, I think that's what we're calling it, I'm adding that on the top and I'm following it over onto the other side, so it'll make like an L shape. Then I'm adding the 2 rib points and pressing those into place and smoothing out with a piece of parchment paper before flipping it over to do the other side. There's just something about this method that I enjoy so much more than the other. Now these 2 wings aren't exactly symmetrical, but we're gonna ignore that and give it a bake. And I decided that they were a little bit too long, so I trimmed off the edges until I was happy with the length. Now, while you could argue, since this dragon is sleeping, it could have its wings kind of like down and droopy, covering its body, but then all the work that I just did would have been covered with the giant wing. So I figure these dragons are like horses. You know, horses sleep standing up, dragons sleep with their wings perked. Or maybe that sounds crazy. Whatever, I liked how these wings looked. But then our dragon was ready for the oven, and it went for its final bake, and I know this dragon was pretty simple, but I think it's the cutest. For our last dragon, it is something I've been wanting to make for so long. So let's start with the body. I'm just rolling out a thick cone and start sculpting out the 2 necks. Make a cut down the middle of the base and start pinching those apart. Eventually you end up with this very weird looking heart. So that's when you'll start bending the necks facing up and flattening out a space where the head will sit. And let's curve that tail upwards as well. So far, this is what it should be looking like. We're going to be putting this into the freezer for 10 minutes so that when we add further details, everything isn't going to be squished out of place. Once it's out of the freezer, I'm looking at it and now realizing it kind of looks like a butt. But moving on, I'm adding a little bit of liquid clay to the base of each neck before adding each head. And to make sure they don't get away from you, blend them into place with some sculpting tools. And I'm just taking some acetone on a Q-tip to smooth out the surface before I'm adding anything else, which will be the legs. So grab 4 balls of orange clay and roll them into slightly tapered logs. So the 2 front legs should look like this. Now our butt has feet and is looking even weirder. Add the back legs where you want the base of the tail to start, and then blend everything into place. Now for the belly, we're rolling out another sheet of clay, cutting into more of a triangle shape. And then at the base of the triangle, cut another triangle out to create 2 necks. And then I can add it to our dragon. So line it up under each head and follow it along the belly and down the tail. Then I can smooth the belly onto the dragon. Or dragons? I don't know. But once again, I'm just adding line indents for the scale details. I know I do these scales for every dragon, but it really is a nice easy design. And once again, adding little toes to each foot. And then I'm just pressing that into the table a few times to secure them into place. Now, I was going back and forth with how I would do the back scales or the spinal scales for these dragons, and I think my original plan was to make scales going down the neck of each dragon and then connecting once it reached the body, but I was thinking that it might be a little bit too complicated to line up, so I thought I'd go in another direction entirely with these dragons and add horns on the head instead of scales down the back. So before I add the horns in place, I'm just going to go ahead and add indents for eyes and the nostrils on each dragon. I also thought it'd be funny to make one of the dragons a little bit mad or grumpy. And then I also pushed down the indents on the eyes, adding a little bit of clay on top of it and blending it out to kind of give it more of an angry brow. All that's left to do is add some long horns for the grumpy one and some cute short ones for the happy one. For the wings, since these have to carry 2 dragons, I wanted to make sure they were nice and big. I also tried to make them a bit different looking from the ones I previously made, so I wanted these to be extra spiky. I also wanted to try and redo my first attempt at making the spine and the ribs the same level as the rest of the wing. And then once the ribs were in place, I was ready to add the final spinal piece along the top. But as I didn't really think this through, I cut these out way too close to each other, so I ended up having to press one of the wings onto a separate piece of parchment paper, and this is when I realized it's starting to look like an orange slice, which I'm not mad about, though now all I'm going to be thinking about is how this is an orange slice dragon. Maybe I should make some fruit monsters, or fruit-themed animals, or animals in fruit costumes. What was I doing? Oh, wings. Now, since these are pretty big wings, I want to make sure I do some deep indents, and once they're in place, these wings definitely need some tinfoil supports while they bake. But after it's baked, we're left with this super cool 2-headed dragon. Though I don't know if I'm done making dragons. Because while these guys are small, I'm wondering how tiny I can make it. And I promise you won't need to wait 4 more years for more dragons. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you enjoyed my rainbow dragons. If you have any ideas on what you want to see me make next, let me know. I'm open to suggestions. But other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all later. Bye!